Richard, hey, good evening. How are you doing? How is the video and audio? Please let me know. You're the first, as usual. By the way, is this a new time, 9 p.m., better for you, Richard, or I will ask the rest of the people later? Both good, excellent. Thank you very much. It's fine for you. All right, until the rest of the guys come, we can discuss what is the condition of the situation with the Himalayan. Any new trips and updates and new information or something good or bad to share, Richard? Do you have something for me? I'm curious to know more about this model, real use. And by the way, what is the weather over there? Because here just turned to be good. 300 miles this week. Oh, this is good. This is good. Gandhar Lahane, hello. Where are you from? Just turned it wet. Yeah, here was very bad, real winter here, real winter. Now this week should be already fine. Ah, Pune, India. I've been to Pune, India. Okay, nice to see you here. Nice to see you here. How is the video and audio in your end? Hello on the Rebel 11. Please, everyone, let me know video and audio on your end. So far, everything is good. 42 degrees Celsius in Pune. Woo, lucky you. Maybe a bit too much, but still better than our weather here. All right. Richard, running well, no problem. Just order the folding gear lever when it goes down. Okay, good. What about the brake pedal? Is it foldable or normal? I don't remember. I saw it on the shop, but I don't remember what it was. I'm surprised that they did not make the gear shift foldable. It's strange. Almost every motorcycle it's like this now, especially for adventure motorcycle. It's like a must-have. Okay, mid still bends. Okay, understand. Okay, good. So guys, just to let you know, this is the last stream that I make for everyone. From next week, I will move back to the schedule. Sunday, it will be live streams for channel members and Patreons. And then 1 week after that, on Saturday, next week, I will convert it to a video and upload it to everyone. But Sunday live streams are going to be only for channel members and patrons. As I said before, this is my way to say thank you to everyone who supports the channel. And all the topics that we discuss, I'm going to discuss only with them, channel members and patrons. I might make open live streams like I do it now, once per month, but not more than once per month. And I hope that you'll understand, because these guys, channel members and patrons, they support the channel from a long time, and this is the minimum that I can do for them. Even if I have to do only with a few people, it is easy for me to discuss and help a few people than many. But this is my decision for now. Don't worry about the content. The content will be there, because after the stream is finished, I will convert it to a video. I will add even more information and links and all the questions that you have, because now, if you are part of the live stream, you can read the questions. But if you watch it on video, you cannot read the questions, and sometimes it's very confusing for people. I'm talking about something and they don't know about what. So I will convert it again like the old format that I used to do before. A live stream will be recorded. I will record my screen and put all the information back with additional pictures and videos, just to make everything more clear and understandable. I hope that it will work well as before. Anyway, if you have any questions on this topic or different topic before I start speaking here, will be nice. Let's see, maybe a few more people will come. Only 3 people right now. So if you have any questions on this topic, maintenance during the trip, or many other topics that you might have, you can ask me now. right. So we have 4 people at the moment. I hope that more people will come. I have a few things to share here, not so many, and then we're gonna move to questions again. Will you be changing your helmet soon? No, because I bought a new helmet a month ago, the same like the old one, Sierra O'Neill, O'Neill Sierra 2, exactly the same like my old helmet, and I'm not gonna change it anytime soon, at least maybe 1 year. And the reason of that is not because I'm so glad or so pleased with this helmet. No, because it is helmet that works well and it's very affordable. It costs around 200 euros. And it lasted, in my situation, it lasted almost 2 years, 2 long trips, one to Magadan and one to South America. And yeah, it's a noisy helmet. It's not a really great quality, but it survived 2 years, really long trips, altogether like 70,000-80,000 kilometers. And that's why I ordered another one, and I will have it for at least 1 year. Gandhar Lahain, can you tell us about your career before biking? Nothing really interesting to explain about it. There is no before biking because I started riding when I was 14 years old, 1-4. So I always have a motorcycle and always had a motorcycle and always rode motorcycles. So there is nothing before biking. I have many different businesses, my personal businesses. I never work for anyone. And maybe in some other conversations we can discuss more about it. Any dangerous situations during bike trips? Yes, I have some. I have some. I even have some of this on the videos. One of them was in India, by the way, in Ladakh. But nothing so significant or so serious to worry about. I have, of course, I have some moments that were risky and maybe strange and maybe I don't know how to describe them. But in common, everything is great. All right, so almost 9 minutes are gone. I think I'm gonna start now. Did you ever get into a fight on a trip? No, never ever on a trip. Never ever. In my life, I fought many times, especially when I was young. It was different life and different story. But on the trips, never ever, never been necessary. I haven't got any problems on the trip with people. It doesn't matter where I have been or how dangerous this place was considered. I never had any problems. I never need to fight with, even to argue with anyone on my trips. Maybe because I'm a lucky guy. Who knows? Mijan or Mihan Makanovic. Hello, nice to see you again here on the stream. All right, guys, now almost 10 minutes. Let's start now with the topic that I have promised. And after I finish, it's not going to be long, 20-30 minutes maximum. And then we're going to have more time. If you want to add more information or if you want to ask questions, please do it so. As you know, the stream will be converted to a video after I finished. And many people that will watch the stream after that, it doesn't matter how many they will be, might benefit from your questions and the information that you can add. So, maintenance during the trip. In my opinion, it is absolutely necessary. It might save you a lot of problems. I honestly believe in all of this, and I do believe that maintenance during the trip is something that everyone should do. You might say, why? If I prepare the bike very well, I don't need to do anything. It will be ready. Why I have to worry about maintenance during the trip and stuff like that? But let me tell you why. Because it doesn't matter how good or well you prepare your motorcycle by yourself or by qualified mechanic, it doesn't matter. You don't know what will happen on the trip. You honestly don't know. Some parts may fail, let's say bad quality parts, or you might have some accidents, or it is enough that you're going to have many different terrain, many riding conditions. Let's say you need to ride for many hours in the rain or in the mud or in sand or rocks. All of this might destroy your motorcycle very quickly, and it will actually. From my experience, I already realized that on these long trips, on really long trips, more than a month, everything starts to wear very, very fast. As I mentioned in one of the previous streams, everything wear very fast. Your gear, your uh, equipment, and your motorcycle, riding gear, boots, everything will fall apart after a few months, especially if you ride in really hard conditions. That's why, in my opinion, uh, maintenance during the trip is important, and it's absolutely necessary to do it to have everything under control. You might say that you don't need it. That's fine. It's your trip and your motorcycle. But as I said, you might have a really big problems because you save some time from maintenance, or you decided that this specific part will last maybe another 2,000 kilometers. But the parts and the motorcycles and everything, they last until they are not. So in my opinion, it's much better to check it and correct some problems if you have it in the beginning of the problem, instead of waiting so long to have some major problems that will stop you from traveling. And what I'm about to say you now is that it is very simple, and everyone with a basic mechanical knowledge could do it. Everything that I'm about to say here, all these tips that I'm going to give you on the road, and what I do on the road, what kind of maintenance during the trip I do, it's very simple, and everyone who knows at least something about motorcycles could do it. It's not difficult, it's not a rocket science, and you don't need to be a mechanic to do all of this stuff. And as I said, all of these measures, or I don't know how even to describe it, all of these steps that I'm going to list here will help you to prevent some problems and just stop them in the beginning before they become real serious problem. So I have two phrases that are so important that when I tell you what they are, I can honestly finish the stream right now. Just two phrases. They are so important that after these phrases, I can finish the stream and you'll understand everything. The very first is that everything you do before the trip will help you during the trip. I'm sure that you have heard me saying this phrase many times before. So all the maintenance or preparation and everything that you do before the trip, it will help you during the trip. I hope that you understand the meaning of these words. And the second is that everything you do during the trip will help you to complete the trip successfully. Just two phrases. First is everything you do before the trip, and second is everything you do during the trip. So both of these activities requires you and yourself. So both of these phrases actually requires your activity before the trip and during the trip if you want to complete it successfully. So as I said, I can finish right now, but I'm not going to finish. I will continue with the rest of the things that I plan here. But I hope that it is crystal clear now that you need maintenance before the trip and you need maintenance during the trip if you want to complete it successfully. If you want to risk, if you want to gamble, do it as it is. You might do nothing, but you will risk a lot, or as I said, gambling. All right. So what I do during the trips. Number one, I do regular checks almost every night. It's every night, but sometimes I forget, or sometimes I'm too tired. I don't need even to worry about it, or it's rain very hard and I don't need to stay on the street. But usually I do it every night, regular checks, because what I mean, I'll tell you what they are, but with the specific bikes, you might need to do more than just regular checks. The example that I can give you right now is from India, Kandahar, for you, and for Richard, 10-year traveler, because he has a Himalayan. When I had this Himalayan in India, Royal Enfield Himalayan, I've been told that they tend to lose a lot of bolts on the chassis, on the swing arm, on all the bolts, on the engine covers, everything. So basically every night when I was stopping, the first thing that I was doing are these first two things that I do with every other motorcycle. Oil and antifreeze levels. Okay, in Himalaya it was air cooled, so I don't need to check the antifreeze, but I was checking the oil. The second is tire conditions and pressure of the tires. This is the regular checks that I do on every motorcycle. But on the Himalayan, I also checked all the bolts and nuts. So basically, I was going to all of these different numbers with a wrench and just trying to tighten them if they get loose. And believe it or not, 10% of these bolts always loose. So I need to tighten them all the time. I hope that with the new Himalayan, especially for Richard, Tenere Traveler, the things are not the same. But with the old model, the build quality was not so good, and it is what it is. I really need to tighten a lot of bolts. On one of my riding days, even that I tightened the bolts before that, I stopped on one place to buy water or something like that. I removed my feet from the side, from the pegs, and then the cover of the front pockets fell on the ground because the bolts, I just lost, the bolts were loose, and I lost them on the road, and the cover actually was standing there because my left foot actually was touching the cover. That's why I did not lose it, but it is what it is. So Tenere overall, no worries so far. I hope that it will stay like that. So the first regular checks that I set are oil and antifreeze levels, tires conditions, and pressures. It takes no more than 5 minutes to do all of this. So basically, when I stop the motorcycle, I can lower myself a little bit, check the oil level and the antifreeze, especially on my Tenere, is very easy because the extension of the antifreeze is on the left side. I can see it, and I have a mirror to see the oil. Moto Wanderlust, Loctite fixed duct. Yes, Loctite fixed this problem, and even so, I will advise to check it if necessary, because some of the bolts cannot be used with Loctite, and also it was not my motorcycle. I cannot go and glue all of the bolts of the motorcycle. That is not mine. It is true that Loctite fixes a lot of problems, but not necessary always. Better is just to check it. Okay, so oil and antifreeze levels and tires conditions and pressures. This is what I do every night. Just check the motorcycle to be sure that on the next day everything is going to be all right. If I have to add some oil or antifreeze, I prefer to do it on the night before the ride, because on the next morning when I pack everything early morning ready to go and then start to checking and stuff like that, it's madness. Even though it might be necessary. For example, in Russia 2 years ago, 2 of the mornings, in the evenings, I checked the motorcycle tires, everything was perfect, and when I wake up early morning, I had a flat tire. It happened 2 times on my trip to Magadan 2 years ago. Shit happens, but it's good to check everything from the night before. And also I do another one, regular checks once per week, like chain and sprockets. Are they tight? What is the I don't know, the tension of the chain? So I need you to check it regularly. On my Tenere, for example, I have a specific place, specific point where I can put 2 fingers, and if the chain is touching these 2 fingers, that means it's perfectly set. If it's too loose or too tight, I have to correct it. It is basically on every motorcycle like that. You just need to find a specific place. So what I need to do is just to lift the motorcycle on center stand and put my 2 fingers over there, and I know that the chain is fine. I can also make a visual inspection on the chain and just move the rear wheel to see how it moves. Is there any problems or some of the segments are not working properly? Also, I can make a visual inspection on the front sprocket, rear sprockets for missing tooths or something like that. Just a visual inspection once per week. I also check wheel bearings and central column bearings. Central column bearings you can feel really easy if you leave the motorcycle on the center stand, especially if you have someone to help you to press the rear side of the motorcycle. If not, you can just lift it with one hand and then move the front wheel without any force on it. So if it's on the ground, you cannot feel it, but when it's lifted from the ground and move it from left to right, you can feel if there is any sticking moments in your wheel bearings, in actually the central column bearings. You can feel it also if you press the front brake and compress the suspension like that. You can hear some clicks or knocks when you move it. Rebel, do you check the clutch set or do you take a spare with you? I'll come to this a little bit later. So this is what I do with wheel bearings and central column bearings. Clutch cable and the rest of the moving parts I also checked once per week. So it's not the clutch plates, it's about the clutch cable. I checked it also, how does it move? Is there any restrictions of the moving. Sometimes it's squeeze, and you're feeling that it's gonna cut at every moment. I checked for this all the time, and I also have a spare clutch cable with me, so if it's something happened, I can change it in 10 minutes. I also check the forks for leaks. For forks, it's good to check for leaks because at the beginning they start very slowly, and when you have a small leak, you can fix it in most of the situations. You can fix it by a simple tool that is named seal mate. It's actually a plastic tool that you can insert between the metal part of the top part of the fork and the shiny part of the fork. Just insert it between the fork and the dust and oil seals, and you can remove some dust from it and actually save future problems. You can do it a number of times until finally the dust and the oil seals are completely worn out and you have to change it. But this helps a lot. If you don't do it, the fork will continue leaks, and if it's on the side of your brakes, if you have on the both sides brakes, it might be very dangerous. So it's something that it's worth to check time to time, especially if you ride in very hot terrains, especially if you ride in mud, in the rain or in dust, because when you don't have neoprene socks that the same as I have on my Tenere, all of this mud stick to the shiny part of the forks, and when you leave it over there and the next day, for example, it's very dry, it's get dry on it, it's became like a concrete, and when the forks start moving ups and down, this concrete, this mud that is already so hard, actually destroying the oil and the dust seals, and that's why they start leaks. And if you have a neoprene forks, these problems will be eliminated in 99% of the times. Since I have the forks, the neoprene socks, I haven't got any problems with the forks. Before that, every year I needed to change the dust seal. So this is something that you definitely need to do. But leaking forks you can see during your regular checks while you're on the road. Brake pads, fronts and rear. This is, of course, very obvious. Every week I checked for the condition. I do it even on the road when I stop for a while, but it is very easy to see, especially the rear brakes. You just go behind the motorcycle and you see how much they have left. For the front might be a little bit different or difficult. You may need to go on your knees and you might need a light just to see what is the condition of the front brakes, but it's really worth to do at least once per week. I also check once per week the air filter, the condition of the air filter, and if it's necessary, you have to change it. Of course, if I feel something while I ride, I will immediately stop and check it. I don't use air plugs. I ride without anything. And when you ride the same motorcycle for thousands of kilometers, you already know everything. So with my Tenere, for example, I know all the sounds and all the movements and all the vibrations. I know everything about it, and if I feel or hear something strange, I immediately will stop and check to see where it comes from. This might save you many problems in the future. That's why I never wear, as I said, air plugs or listen music, because if you have music or something like that, you don't really hear your engine, you don't really feel anything until it's too late. So this is my way of traveling and my way of understanding the things. I'm not saying that to listen music or to have earplugs is bad. No, it's not. But I prefer to be in contact with the engine and with the conditions, with the road, and with all sounds that might come on the road. This is me. It's not necessary to be like me. Okay, and of course, I do some necessary changes when the time comes. Not necessary, but if the trip is long, the time will come one way or another. For example, oil and filter changes, or oil filter, I mean. Usually, I do it every 5,000 kilometers on my Tenere. On my trip to Magadan, I did it once per 10,000 kilometers. Two reasons. First is because the trip was very long, and if I was changing the oil every 5,000 kilometers, it will be just too many changes. But the second reason, which is more important for me, because I was not stressing the engine too much. I was riding basically 18, 90 kilometers per hour all the time. And this long trip, I was not changing so many gears, so I can afford to change the oil once per 10,000 kilometers. Keep in mind that the original maintenance schedule for the Tenere is 10,000 kilometers. I am changing the oil every 5,000 because I believe that this is better for the engine. But on a very long trips, when I don't have such a stressful rides, I prefer to change it a little bit longer. Even though when I went finally to Magadan, I changed it, and then on the way back, I changed it again for about 6 or 7,000 kilometers. So this is the type of the trips that you do at the moment, and you can afford a little bit more. It was the same with these small Hondas that we were riding in South America. The oil change intervals are recommended 3,000 for this model, but we did it once on 3,000 kilometers, and when we dropped the oil, it was absolutely fresh, and we decided that 5,000 kilometers are not going to be that bad. And once again, because we were riding very slowly, so we changed the oil of these Hondas every 5,000 kilometers in South America. So we have 32,000 kilometers, so you can guess, so we have 6 or 7 oil changes. But these are things that are very necessary, and if you extend these periods, you might have a real problems with the motorcycle. That's why, expensive or not, you shouldn't go to so many kilometers, even that it will cost you money. Of course, brake pads, fronts and rear, when the time comes, I change them on the road. It's a simple job. If you don't know how to do it, watch a few videos on YouTube and learn how to do it for your specific model. This is something that will save you a lot of problems, and of course money. You don't need to go to mechanic to look for a mechanic to change your brake pads. You can do it by yourself. It's not a difficult job. Just learn a few important moments, and that's it. And of course, I told you that I was checking wheel bearings and time to time, once per week. And if necessary, I can change it on the road, especially if you have spares with you. If you don't have spares, you can find it somewhere on the road. But if you know that your motorcycle is already on more than 50,000 kilometers and you plan to go on a long trip, I will advise to have a wheel bearings with you. This is something that we did not make on our trip to South America. We didn't get with us. We didn't order spare wheel bearings. Somehow we forgot. I don't know why. Maybe everything was on rush, and we forgot to buy wheel bearings. And I was not so worried about it, because the motorcycles that we were riding, these Hondas, they were made in Brazil, and basically you can find a shop everywhere and find and buy a spare parts. The problem is, if you have a failed wheel bearings in the middle of nowhere, then it's a problem, because you cannot move the motorcycle anymore. But once again, we were 2 people, so one of us can always go to the local town or the nearest town or village and try to find bearings and come back. But once again, from advice from me, if your motorcycle is on more than 50,000 kilometers, it's not brand new, on more than 50,000 kilometers, it is worth to find the wheel bearings for your front and rear wheel and take it as a spare with you. They don't weigh much, and they might save you a lot of problem on the road. Again, to change the wheel bearings on the road, it's not that difficult. You need not many tools. You can do it with a stone from the road and one metal pin. You can use your tire brake lever or something, or big screwdriver, to remove the old bearings and to put the new one with the hammer, or if you don't have hammer, with a big stone, it's also possible. It's not that difficult. You can improvise and do it. And of course, chains and sprockets, when the time comes. I also change it during the trip, because when the chain finish, you cannot finish riding. You cannot continue riding. That's it. Now, for example, on my trip to South America, the chain that I've got cut 50 kilometers before Buenos Aires. So just I was about to get to Buenos Aires, and I knew that the chain is already worn out and I need to change it. I knew that, and I was planning to change it in Buenos Aires, and it cut 50 kilometers before the town. Luckily, I had a spare link with me, so we were able to fix it and go into the town. But again, chain and sprockets, when it's necessary, change it. Advice from me, always take at least one spare front sprocket if you have a really long trip. If you have, let's say, 10 or 15,000 kilometers already on the chain and change only the front sprocket, it will give you another probably 10 or 15,000 kilometers without any problems. If you don't change it, it will run very fast. It will ruin the chain very fast, especially if the chain is 520. If you have 525 or 530, they last longer, but 520, 25,000 kilometers and they are gone. It doesn't matter, do you lube it all the time? Even if you have oiler, it might last a little bit longer, but not much longer. Also lube it every 300 kilometers. I don't follow this schedule exactly. I loop the chain almost every night. After every day when I finish the riding day, when I stopped, I just put the motorcycle on center stand. I do this visual inspection that I told you, antifreeze, oil. I loop the chain and visual inspection of the tires and wheels, and then I can remove the luggage and go to relax. This is what I do every single day. Sometimes I forgot and I don't do it, but usually I loop the chain once per day. And of course, air filter is also something that you have to look on when you're on the road. If it's clogged with dust, it's not good for your engine. You have to clean it or change it. Luckily, on my motorcycle, I have a K&N filter that is washable. So when it's necessary, I can remove it, wash it, lube it, and put it back again. In hot day, it dries for 30 minutes, and I'm ready to continue traveling. This is my, of course, my opinion. I prefer to have K&N filter. Now on my motorcycle, I even have another one, pre-filter from foam. So I do believe that this is much better for me and my type of trips. Some people prefer to have a normal paper filter, but again, depends on you. So this is basically what I do during the trips, guys. And as you can see, it's nothing so special. Does not require a specific mechanic or some specific skills. No, nothing at all. These are simple um, things that you can learn how to do it, and they can save you a lot of problems and will definitely help you to complete the trip successfully. And now, if you have any questions on this topic or any other topic, or if you want to add some information on the things that we discuss, feel free to do it. Ghost Rider, 2 questions. Is it worth to change the rim on my 10R so I can put tubeless tires on it? Makes it much easier to plug when you have it flat. My GS 1200 Adventure is tubeless and I love it. Is it worth? I don't know. Not for me, maybe for you will worth. This conversion, it's not cheap. It's expensive, as I know, and it is not like to have it stock. If you make a conversion, it's always have some risk on it, and you might not be so happy with it. I can always fix a flat tire if I have a spare tube with me or patches, but not always you can fix damaged wheel if you have a tubeless wheels. In any case, you will need to have a spare tubes with you, just in the case you damage the rim of your tubeless tires. I don't know, it does not work for me, but might be a great option for you. You have to decide it. Tenant Traveler, the absolute minimum checks daily are powder, petrol, oil, water, damaged electric rubber. I'll agree. Yeah, it's a good obvious. It's a good shortening of everything. Powder, petrol, oil, water, damaged electric rubber. Good points. Rebel, do you have a tire recommendations for touring? Depends on the trip that you plan to do. If you plan to stay only on the asphalt, will be one type of tire. If you plan to have some kind of dirt roads, off-road, gravel roads, it will be a different type of tire. So depends on the trip, Rebel. If you are a little bit more specific, maybe I will recommend something. Road only, highways mostly. Then you can go to any normal street tire that you can find. They will all last. Specific recommendation for road tires only, I cannot tell you because I don't ride road tires on my motorcycles. I always prefer to have dual sport tires that will allow me to ride on the road, but also to have some dirt roads on it. Do you carry a spare clutch? Fireman Peter 2. Yes, on many of my trips, I had a spare clutch plates with me, clutch plates, only the clutch plates and the gasket. This is absolutely necessary if you go on the long trips. Even if you have a lot of life still left on your original clutch, you might burn it in specific situations, especially if you plan serious off-road or technical tracks. Then it's worth to have a spare clutch plates with you. They are not that heavy and they might save you the day and the whole trip, actually. Ghost Rider, thank you. Question 2. How much do you turn the button on your boots to tighten it? I don't like the maximum tight. Again, depends on you. If you mean the Revit, what was the name of the boots? Expedition H2O. If you mean the ball system, I never tied it to the end, because if you tied it to the end, you actually press your leg and the veins, and later in the evening when you remove it, you'll have a mark and you're not going to feel so well. It will be painful on some stage, but I tied them enough to hold my ankles tight. So how much exactly? Hard to say. Tenant traveler, take the owner's manual with you, either paper or on the phone. It has all the info and other mechanical needs. Yes, it's a good advice. I forgot to tell you this. Thank you for adding, Richard. It's absolutely must to have the manual with you, especially if you're not so familiar with the model. If it's a new model, or if it's a model that does not, it's not so popular around the world. So take the manual with you, because the information inside is basically everything that you're gonna need on the road. How to change the parts, how to check the parts, everything. So take the manual. Of course, you don't need to take the paper copy because it's big, but a PDF file on your telephone, it's fantastic, and you can use this information if you need it. Good point. Thank you very much for adding, Richard. Any more questions on this topic or any other topics? Go ahead, guys. Now is the moment. I can see that we have 14 people. So once again, to explain to each and every one of you, from next week, the live streams are going to be again only for channel members and Patreons. I will do it on Sunday for channel members and Patreons. Then I'm going to record, of course, my screen and everything that we discuss, include the questions and answers and everything. And I'm going to make it to a video, include some links, pictures, and more information that is useful to you. And we'll upload it on the same channel, but 1 week later on Saturday. So the live streams will be on Sunday for channel members and Patreons. And then 6 days later, I will upload it on Saturday for everyone who want to watch them online. Free for everyone, but already pre-recorded, if you understand what I mean. I do this because I want to say a huge thank you for all of my channel members and Patreons that are supporting the channel and myself for many years. So if you want to be part of these streams and you have some questions, or if you want to add information about it, you can always become a channel member or Patreon. It's not that expensive. Of course, I understand if you cannot do it, it's not a problem at all. But if you became a channel member, you can be part of these streams. And when the people are just a few, 3, 4, 5 people or 10 people, it is easy for me to answer the questions and to give more information to specific topics. I hope that you understand. But I can do it maybe once per month, free for everyone. But usually will be Sunday channel members and Patreons only. Rebal, can you jumpstart the bike if the battery is dead? Of course, you can jumpstart the motorcycle, unless you don't have some very brand new motorcycles like Ducati or BMW. It might be a problem to jumpstart them. With anything else, especially old models, you can jump them all the time. It's not a problem. Jumpstart or just push them to start. It's all right. You can do it. With the new models, I cannot say. With my Tenere, it's not a problem. But with BMW new models, I don't know. They might have some restrictions, because now with the cars, it's like that. If the battery died on your car, you cannot jump start it. Even if you disconnect the battery and connect it again, you cannot start it anymore with the new cars now. So it's madness. It's all of this electronics and all of this computers and all of this stuff that running on the background actually ruin the whole experience. So depends on the motorcycle. I used to have even a jump cables on my old Tenere connected directly to the battery. So in the case I drop the battery, I can just plug it to another motorcycle or car and jump start it immediately. I don't have it on my new Tenere, but it's not a new anymore, and I might do it now just to have it in the case I need it. Moto Wanderlust, what's your opinion about the bikes with drive shafts for adventure traveling? Drive shafts are something that is very convenient, and this is the reason why so many people love them on the adventure trips even, or long trips. But with the convenience, all the benefits are finished. That's it. It's convenient. You don't need to loop the chain all the time, and this is what sold people to this type of things, drive shafts. But in my opinion, it will be way more easier to spray the chain every day or a few times per day than to fix a problem with drive shafts. It is true that they don't fall apart just like that, but if you're on a very long adventure trip, especially if you include some dirt roads, grabber loads, and a lot of different bumps and different terrains, you might break it. You might do everything before the trip, lube it, change everything, all the parts, and make it properly, maintain it properly, but you might break it. And if you break it, you stop. And also, drive shafts are usually make the motorcycles very heavy. They are not usually on light motorcycles, and they make the motorcycles even more heavy on the rear side where they shouldn't be so heavy. So my opinion, its chain is way better. My opinion, I prefer to have a chain because chain you can change everywhere. Everywhere around the world you can find chain and sprockets. You can improvise even, but with the drive shaft you can't do anything. Even if you break one very small bolt inside or some metal parts inside, you can't do anything. You have to order a new part, and usually they will come from other part of the world. You'll stuck for at least 2-3 weeks before you fix it. This is my opinion. I'm not saying that I'm right, but I will never travel with a motorcycle with drive shaft. It's maybe in Europe, if you travel only around Europe, only on the roads, if you have contacts and garages and service points everywhere, it's fine. But outside of Europe, forget about it. Okay. Fireman Peter 2. Do you prefer lithium battery? I prefer the old type of batteries because lithium batteries, they are very nice to saving weight, but they don't last that much, and they have some negatives, especially in cold and hot days. So I prefer to have old batteries. I'm an old school guy. I prefer to have old technologies, not the lithium batteries. This is my opinion. Unfortunately, on the new 10RS now they already put the lithium batteries, but mine is model 2021, and I'm still with the old type of battery. And for your information, on my old 10RS, the battery died after 12 years. 12 years and so many kilometers, and then the battery died. So the old type of batteries definitely last longer. Rebel, do you buy second-hand bikes? If so, what will you check before buying? Uh, of course, the Tenere that I have now is the first motorcycle that I bought brand new. Before that, all the motorcycles that I ever had were second-hand. And there are many things to check, and depends on the model. But just to be more specific, I cannot because I don't know what kind of motorcycle you will buy. But general advice is always try to find the motorcycle that is on lower mileage and better conditions. That's the universal requirements. Not so many kilometers and good condition. That's everything that you need. Because the rest is always subjective, depends on the motorcycle, depends on the model. For some model, 50,000 might be nothing. For another 50,000 might be everything. Or 100,000 or 200,000, depends on the model. But if the motorcycle is very well looked, you'll see it right now. If the owner does not care very well on one specific part on the motorcycle, it's enough for me to know that it will be the same everywhere. So, for example, I don't mind how the motorcycle looks like outside. It might have some dents or scars, but technically should be always great. So I cannot really say much. Tenere Traveler, take tools unique to your bike. A local mechanic might not have it. Absolutely. Good advice. Thank you for adding, Richard. Yes, some motorcycles requires a specific tools, and if your is one of them, make sure that you have it in your toolkit, because even if you don't know how to use it, someone will know. Mechanics usually know this stuff, but they need a specific tools. Fireman Peter 2, do you prefer to have voltmeter to have better control? Yes, I do prefer to have voltmeter. I had it on my old Tenere, and I actually plan to install it on the new Tenere as well. The reason I did not have it right now because it was new and I never worried about the voltage. But now it's already 80,000 kilometers. It's maybe on some stage I might have problem with this, and I do like to have a voltmeter The second reason is that I need something very small because I don't have much space on my dashboard. But it's good to have it because you can monitoring the condition of your battery and your recharging system all the time. Your charging system on the motorcycle, you can monitor it all the time if you have a voltmeter. If it's dropped, you will know it on time, and you can find a garage mechanic or battery if the battery is dead. It's good to have it. It might help you a lot. Hey, Spin, good evening. You came late, but don't worry about it. After the video is finished, I'll convert it. After the stream is finished, I'll convert it to a video and you can watch it on the channel. All right, guys, any more questions? I'm going to give you 10 more minutes and then I'm going to end the stream. Any more questions or information? Out riding, good. This is the most important, to go and ride. You can watch videos or live streams anytime, but you won't be able to ride all the time. So every possible free moment, use it, especially if you have a good weather. Fireman Peter, do you ever lower the tire pressure? Yes, I did it many times, especially on sand. It is necessary to lower it. I don't lower it on gravel roads or rocky terrains. I don't do it unless it's absolutely necessary. And the reason I don't do it is because with these heavy adventure motorcycles, it's very easy to bend the rim and damage the rim, especially if you have a lot of luggage and the terrain is very rocky. And but on sand or in very muddy conditions, it might be necessary. Now on my trip to South America, it was necessary twice to lower the pressure. It was very muddy and very slippery conditions in Trans-Amazonica. So we needed even to lower the pressure. But this is not something that I do all the time. Only in very deep sand and mud, if necessary. Because of the reasons that I told you. You can easily bend the rim and damage the rim. Espin, how is your MIF exhaust lasting? Just ordered at one. So far, I don't know how many kilometers I've got, like 50, 60,000 kilometers on it. So far, so good. No problems whatsoever. It gets just a little bit rust on the pipes here and there, small dots, but I clean it easily with not with the grinder, but with the sandpaper or something like that. I clean it and nothing after that. After Magadan, a lot of rain, a lot of mud, yeah, it gets some rusty points. Clean it and nothing after that. I'm very, very pleased with this exhaust. It is not louder. I thought that it's louder, and I even made a video about it last year just to check the sounds from before and now, and it turns out that it's absolutely the same. So I'm very pleased with this exhaust. Cannot complain, and I highly recommend it to each and every one of you because it's solving one of the problems that this tenere have if you drop it on the right hand side. Good that you order it. You will be happy with it. Just be careful with your saddlebags or your, I don't know what kind of luggage you have. When you put it, it might be a problem, but I'm sure that you'll be all right. For example, now on my saddlebag, it has two straps. Okay, Moscow. So you have a racks, I guess, for Moscow. On my saddlebag, I don't have a luggage racks, and one of the straps go on the left side, and the second go on the right side. And usually I tie them to the passenger pegs. The left side is not a problem, but the right side go very close to the exhaust. And for that reason, I have to mount it on one very small extension on the foot peg that is not close to the exhaust. If I put it on normally as I do, it will be burned from the exhaust. This is something that you have to have in mind, but I think that Moscow has racks. Reckless. Okay, so be careful with the straps because they might be very close to the exhaust, or you might need to have some kind of shield made from Kevlar or metal part just to protect this part of the exhaust, if you understand what I mean. Adam Lukash, hi Pavel. If I am a channel member but the travel adventure, I'm going to be able to the travel adventure. I'm going to be able to see the live streams for member only, or need to become member of stream. No. If you're a channel member for any of the of the channels, motorcycle adventure, travel videos, or this channel, you'll be able to see the stream anytime. I usually, after the stream is live, I send a link to each one of the channels to channel members and patrons, so they can join the link. So if you're a member to one of the channels, it's enough. You don't need to be a member to all of them. Es bin I got Knoblin too. Okay. Okay, fair enough. So once again, if it's not clear, if you're channel member to even one of the channels, motorcycle adventure travel videos of this one, it's enough, and you will have a link in the community tab once the live stream started, and you can join the live stream and discuss everything that we discuss here tonight. No problems. Fireman Peter, how much did you lower the tire pressure in mud conditions? Usually I keep my tire pressures 2 or 2.2, 2.3 on the rear, depends on the motorcycle, but this is what I usually do. In the sand or mud conditions, I will do it 1.23, not lower than that. Lower than that, you can spin the wheel and cut the valve, so don't do it lower than that. 1.2, 1.5 should work much better, especially in the mud and sand. And especially in slippery mud. If it's a really deep mud, you don't really need to lower the pressure if it's like this. But if it's hard terrain with slippery mud on it, in one of the situation in Trans-Amazonica, it was a very hard compound compressed from the trucks, and when it's not raining, it was like a concrete, so solid. But when it starts raining, man, the top part of this solid ground melted immediately. It was wetted immediately from the rain, and it became so slippery. It became like ice. It was disaster. I dropped the motorcycle once, Patsel spin so many times, and almost dropped the bike a few times. But so we needed to lower the pressure. It was a little bit better, but it was very, very tricky moment for, I don't know, for about maybe 300 kilometers. Was very, very slippery. It was impossible. So basically, when I find some kind of level of the throttle, I was afraid to put more or less, because you immediately start spinning. It was very difficult to ride it, even though we have 100% off-road tires, Nobi tires. Even with these tires, was very difficult, and it was necessary to lower the pressure a little bit to 1.2 or something like that, just to go through this section. But as soon we went to lift it again, because on the rocks it's very easy to damage the wheel. All right, guys, 5 more minutes. More questions, please. Any topic. I can see that we have now 14, 15 people, but looks like most of the people are shy. They don't want to ask questions, or no worries. But I'm here because of you. If I can answer your questions, this makes me happy. If I can help you with something, this is all about this channel, and the rest of the channels and everything is just to help you to go through some situations that might be not so easy for you, or you don't have enough information. When I was start traveling, these things were not existing, and to find information was very difficult. You need to go to forums and look for here and there on specific topics. Was very difficult. Fireman Peter too, what about voltage regulator? Do you carry it? Voltage regulator. Yes, I carry always a spare with me, because it is something that if it stopped, it just stopped, and it's good to have a voltage regulator with you all the time as a spare. It does not weigh that much. It's usually like this, like 200, 150 grams. Put it in your luggage, always there, and forget about it. You can even put it in the plastic bag and hide it somewhere in the motorcycle, just in the case when you need it. It's something that you should have with you. It might save you a lot of problems. Rebel, any thoughts about the new KTM 390 Adventure? I haven't seen it on real. I wrote KTM 390, but I haven't seen this Adventure on real. It looks very good. It looks like a big adventure motorcycle. And to be honest, I haven't heard any bad things about 390 model. Maybe it's not so popular, or maybe they have a better quality, even though they are made in India. Nothing I can say about it. It will be probably a very good option to many people, but I don't know. I just don't trust KTM. Wonderful motorcycles to ride, but not to own, if you understand what I mean. I prefer to have something more reliable. KTM 390 might be good, might not. Who knows? Only the future will show us how reliable they are. I think that many people bought it already, start traveling with this motorcycle. So we're gonna hear some news maybe anytime soon. Marv 968, good evening, Pavlin. I'm living in the UK on Wednesday to do a trip of the Balkans. Do you have any advice for buying border insurance, as my insurance doesn't cover some of the countries outside of Europe? In the Balkans, you can travel everywhere with a green card. Maybe in Serbia, you'll need to pay something else. With the green card, you should be all right. Green card does not work only, I think, in Serbia. In Kosovo as well. In Kosovo, you'll need to buy insurance, but you'll buy it on the border. It costed something like 10 euros or something like that. But yeah, in Europe, green card and you'll be all right. Only Kosovo and Serbia, you'll need to pay extra for insurance, but it's not that bad. You should be outside. All right. Of course, when you're living outside of Europe, it's a different story. Fireman Peter, do you like Kove 450 Rally? I think you saw it. Yes, I saw it on Istanbul Motor Show. I like it. I like it very much. It's really nice design. Look good. Look exactly like a race motorcycle. The idea is good. The riding position and everything is fine. I like it very much. It's like 150 kilograms. But reliability, I don't know anything about it. Power or how it works, how it's handling everything, I don't know. And the difference between the bike that you can buy on the shop and the rally version that was part of the car, it's huge. It's like day and night, so you cannot really trust on it. You have it and it's good for now. Okay, glad to hear that. If you share a little bit more information about it and when you have more mileage, will be very useful to every member of the stream right now. Like now we have a Richard with a Himalayan. He shared his information all the time. It will be nice to share your experience as well. Marv 968, I have to speak to my insurance company as many of the countries on the green card they have provided me with many of the Balkan countries cross it out. Yes, the best way is to speak with your insurance provider. And usually, as I said, in Europe, you need green card. In the green card, it is all the countries that are covered by insurance are already marked. If they are not, they are scratched like this. So you'll see that, let's say, Turkey, it might be not. Turkey was, even though it's not all part of Turkey is in Europe. But definitely Serbia and Kosovo will be scratched. That's why ask your insurance provider the best way. Yeah, if they cross it out, you have to ask them. But if you're from UK, I think you are from UK, you might need to make another green card on the border, and you will probably make. This will be the situation with your local insurance. It's not gonna happen. All right, guys, 1 hour. I think that it is time to finish. Thank you very much to all of you for coming tonight. Thank you for adding information here, asking questions, and make the stream more interesting for everyone who is going to watch it after that. So next week, the stream will be only for channel members and patrons. If you want to become one, please do it. So there is 3 different channels, whatever you like, just become a member. It does not cost you that much, but it will help me to run and do what I do. If you are already a member, you will have a link in community post once the stream started, and you can join it and watch it. The same for Patreon, guys. I will share a link to a Patreon page. So once again, thank you very much, guys. Keep writing, keep smiling, and see you next week. Ciao.